Have you always dreamed of thicker hair?
L'Oreal presents a scientific revolution. Volume Filler, our first hair care system with phloxin. L'Oreal's innovative molecule penetrates hair. The system increases hair's diameter. So with every application, it feels 2 times thicker. With L'Oreal Volume Filler, hair is amplified, densified, every day.
A real thickness, finally.
Extraordinary.
Volume Filler from L'Oreal Advanced Hair Care. The science behind extraordinary hair.
And you're worth it.
Pretty cool new L'Oreal commercial just dropped, dude. That's sick. You just know that off-season boredom is hitting when you're making fake MLB player shampoo commercials. Anyways, today we're going to cover the players at each position with the best hair from the last decade or so. So players active in 2015 and on are included to be in this. Pre-2015 won't be included, but we could save that for a different video. There's so many pictures with lettuce, I'm going to save that for last. I'm going to start out in right field. My pick is going to be Fernando Tatis Jr. He definitely has some of the cooler hair in all of baseball that completes his overall look with the Dominican dreads. He has some pretty unique way of styling them as well. He's definitely becoming one of the top faces in baseball, rebounding after the PED issues and showing he's a legit player without them. There was definitely a handful of players that made the list for right field, but his hair was the coolest in my opinion. A close second is Ronald Acuna Jr. in 2020. I don't know why he cut that hair. It was pretty sick. I always liked Yasiel Puig's hair when he was with the Dodgers. He did some cool designs with it. I didn't really know where to put Cole Tucker in this video since he played different positions, but he has a fair amount of games started in right field. But he's got some good locks, and I do feel like he's more known now for being married to Vanessa Hudgens. Moving on to center field, there was a lot of options, but I have to go with the legend himself, Charlie Blackmon, Chuck Nasty. He had the best mullet in baseball in the modern era. I just don't know how you could not pick him for center field. He did retire at the end of the 2024 season. I used him as center field since it was a position he had most of his games played in all his All-Star seasons. He was an Austin Rockies franchise player, and looking at his baseball reference page, it's pretty crazy he ended his career with a .293 average over 14 years. Moving on to the long list of honorable mentions, I'm starting with Coco Crisp, and yes, he does count because he played in 2015 and 2016. Gotta love Coco Crisp. We also have Andrew McCutchen, Billy Hamilton, Cameron Maybin, Colby Rasmus, Jake Marisnick, Harrison Bader on the Cardinals, Cody Bellinger in 2020. It's one of my favorite pictures ever. DJ Friedel, Jaron Duran, and Corbin Carroll as a couple more modern players. I'm sure I'm missing some, and you guys can let me know in the comments. On to left field. One of the stars of the L'Oreal commercial is my pick, Jason Worth. I think he has one of the best long hair looks in all of baseball. He looked like a caveman, but in a good way. He really had that I don't give a look, which I liked also, and he was just a beast. He had a lot of games in both the corner outfield positions in different seasons. He works just fine in left, and I had to have him as one of the picks as a starter. Very solid career too, 29 WAR, 300 doubles, 229 homers, and an 816 OPS over 15 years. There's a long list of left fielder honorable mentions as well, with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Love his hair, it's definitely something. Benintendi back on his Red Sox days. Jesse Winker is up there too. Brandon Donovan, Brandon Marsh. Maybe he is the closest player that looks like Jason Worth currently. Gotta throw in Travis Jankowski and Raimel Tapia. All right, so for third base, I'm going to try to make this interactive. I really couldn't decide myself, and here are some of the options I have. It can be any of the options I listed or someone else you may think of. So I have Machado. He has done some interesting looks. Justin Turner, he really had it ripping in like 2017. Eugenio Suarez had like 6 different styles and colors his hair. Yankees legend Josh Donaldson also had his fair share of hairdos. Anthony Rendon back on the Nationals. J-Ram always looks pretty cool, and Alec Bohm I'll throw in there too. Moving over to shortstop, this was a hard pick because there are a lot of players who have some solid flow, but overall, probably some of the best hair in the majors is Dansby Swanson. He may not have the longest, but I think he probably has some of the best. It's kind of tame, kind of not, which is hard to achieve, I'm sure. He has the type of hair that looks like he works a lot at making it look nice, but it probably comes natural, so we gotta respect that. Throw his hair on Handsome Squidward, and they're basically one and the same. And Mookie and Zach Allen agree.
What about like Dansby? Dansby's good hair too.
He's
like,
a good hair guy.
Yeah, I would say probably Dansby's probably got up there.
Some mentions are Brandon Crawford. Weird to see him not in a Giants uniform now. Bo Bichette has always had good flow. Francisco Lindor's done some cool stuff with his hair. If you remember the World Baseball Classic, Team Puerto Rico all dyed their hair white, and that was sick. JP Crawford is worth mentioning. O'Neal Cruz, counting him as a shortstop, even though he's probably going to move to outfield for good. Ellie De La Cruz, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., CJ Abrams, and Freddie Galvis. And now moving over to the two-bagger, your new Royals second baseman is Jonathan India. Do we like this trade? I think it's a fair one-to-one swap. I think I would give the edge to the Royals, though, if I had to decide personally. But you're here for the hair, not my opinion on the trade. And India has some serious Lechuga going on, kind of like a lion's mane. It absolutely flops around in the wind. So with the length and the style, he's my pick for second base. I also considered Luis Ariz, Ketel Marte, Taylor Motter, Javier Baez you could consider since he played second base on the Cubs full-time. I would also throw in Jazz Chisholm, and also I had Robinson Cano. I think the obvious pick at first base is Bryce Harper, using him there since that is his full-time position now. He is a known hair guy, and he has had many different lengths and styles over the years. It's pretty crazy. The hair flip used to be his thing, which I always thought was pretty fun and funny. I'm all for anything that adds some fun to the game. As a Yankees fan, it felt like some fresh air having some guys with some swag on the team last year, like Soto and Verdugo, not playing like robots and showing personality, which I think Harper is also good at. But anyways, Harper definitely has some of the best hair in the league, and there's no arguing that. As for first base honorable mentions, I had a good amount, starting with the Mad Lad, John Jaso, with the insane dreads. Yuli Gurriel, also one of my favorites. Him and his brother have the pineapple heads. Josh Naylor has some wild hair. I'm not sure if it's good, but I'll throw it on there. Vladdy Jr. has some good locks. Hanley Ramirez. Eric Hosmer had the faux hawk. Josh Bell deserves a mention. Prince Fielder and Connor Joe. Moving on to the catcher position, I think that Jorge Alfaro wins as default. There are not many catchers who rock long hair or have cool haircuts as much as I can remember or do the research for, unless I'm really forgetting someone else. So yeah, Jorge Alfaro it is. He has the most games at catcher in his MLB career. He has some pretty cool curly long hair, different colors going on, so yeah, still not a bad pick anyways. An honorable mention could be Adley Rutschman, I think. But I was pretty hard-pressed to find many catchers with cool hair. All right, now on to the pitchers. There is a ton. It would be really hard to decide who has had the best or has the best currently. So I think I'm just going to list them all out, both starting pitchers and relief pitchers. All right, here we go. So we got Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Dustin May, Mike Clevenger, Chris Paddock, Chris Archer, Sean Manaea, Tim Lincecum, since he did pitch past 2015, Jeff Samardzija, Clayton Kershaw, Carlos Martinez, John Gant, Randy Dobnak, Garrett Cole, Lance McCullers, John Gray, Madison Bumgarner, Johnny Cueto, Bronson Arroyo, Freddie Peralta, Zach Greinke, Kevin Gausman, Jared Jones, Joe Ryan, a.k.a. Dude from Stranger Things, Tyler Glasnow, Corbin Burns, Luis Castillo, Kramer Valdez, Tony Gonsolin, Logan Gilbert, Trevor Williams, Spencer Urangeti, Zach Gallen, Michael Lorenzen, Dean Kramer, Emmanuel Clase, Matt Strahm, Justin Lawrence, Josh Hader, Ryan Stanek, Austin Davis, Kirby Snead, Sean Anderson, Andrew Chafin, Gregory Soto, Hunter Gaddis, Rafael Montero, CNL Perez, Lake Bacar, I think that's how you say it, Ryan Weathers, Bruce Gatterall, toss in Shohei Imanaga. This list could go on and on. I don't have all day here, guys. I got a job and stuff. So that should about wrap up the players with the best hair in baseball. Once I had filled in all the spots, I went and looked at every single roster for the last 10 years. Yes, that took a really long time. And I started to realize that I'm missing people, but I'm not going to go back and put them in. I'm sorry, it was just way too much to do that. You guys got the gist, right? And I'll be back with more for sure. I'm pretty shocked at the amount of people that are watching these. Thank you guys so much. I kind of started this because I was bored and I was wanting baseball content in the off season, and it seems a lot of you guys are in the same position, and let's keep it going. I have some fun ideas for following videos I believe that you guys should enjoy, and I'll enjoy making them, so yeah.